Hello, everybody. Today's date is April 13th, 2018. The new Cloverfield movie just arrived in theaters, and whoa! What's going on? We're going into a dimensional shift! Whoa! Oh, E-Rich, are you okay? What's going on?
I can't stop shaking.
Oh, God. I think we're entering a dimension where the movie came out on Netflix the same day the trailer premiered? What the fuck?
They've been experimenting with this shit.
Yeah, they've been Belko experimenting with this shit, one could say. Does anybody get that reference at all?
That was a movie that came out.
Hey everybody, welcome to Is It Kino? I am MUMKEY Jones.
And I'm E-Rich.
And in case you couldn't tell by our great theatrics in the first minute, we are talking about the brand new Netflix original film. First to Netflix, never to come out anywhere else. A little movie I like to call The God Particle.
Yeah, that's what it was called, and that's what I was expecting it to be called, actually.
But now it's called the Cloverfield Parablocks. Megablocks. The Cloverfield Megablocks is the new name. E-Rich, before we talk about this movie, I want to introduce a new segment to this show.
All right.
It's going to be called The Biggest Retard of the Day, where I pull the biggest retard out of the comments section from the previous episode. The previous episode, of course, being the Good Time review.
Yeah, good one.
The biggest retard of the day is a guy named Scotty Ice So Nice, who said, I thought these were going on E-Rich's channel now. Congrats, Scotty Ice. You are the biggest retard of the day. Don't know why you thought we were moving our very popular movie review podcast to E-Rich's 300 subscriber channel.
Podump 300 subscriber channel.
You fucking moron.
Motherfucker, we never even said that. Like, if we had lied or something and said, oh yeah, Is It Kino is moving to my channel.
We said nothing resembling that at all. If I'm going to take the effort of recording a goddamn podcast with E-Rich, I'm putting it up on my channel, even if it's one of his shows. If I jump in and do one of his, Peaker Valley podcasts, I'm putting it up on my fucking channel anyway, and then I'll direct people to his.
I'll get some cross-pollination that way.
Yeah, of course you would. Like, why would I waste the time of putting it on the E-Rich channel? Come on, Is It Kino is here to stay. That's why you're the big retard of the week.
Congratulations, Ice So Nice, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, he's melted now because we just hit him with the heat and the fury of our hot new segment.
The fire and fury.
Now, E-Rich, before we went into this particular movie, you wanted to talk about your history with the Cloverfield franchise real quick.
Yeah, sure. So, basically, the Cloverfield franchise has had a very interesting kind of relationship with its marketing, where before the first one came out, there was all these like rumors online about what the movie was actually about. We knew it had to do something about like a giant monster doing something, but nobody knew what it looked like exactly. So back in 2008, it was a very popular kind of trend to like leak details about what the monster looked like. And so I got in on that action, and I filmed a video of my ugly brother running at me in slow speed and growling, so it looked like there was a monster. I think I fooled a lot of people. Actually, I didn't. The comment section was entirely filled with dumb faggot, fat faggot.
Well, speaking of the comment section, you said I could post a link to that video you filmed of your brother in the description. Is that right?
Yeah, you can post it.
So
I
people,
don't give a shit.
How old is this video? 10 years old?
It is now 10 years old at this point, yeah. This was...
Filming your brother pretend to be the Cloverfield monster?
Yes. So I have a very deep connection with YouTube and Cloverfield, which makes this review kind of like an ultimate culmination for me.
Yeah, and also...
kill myself.
Yeah, we've never really mentioned it, but you were actually an extra in the first Cloverfield movie.
Yeah, I don't really like to talk about that a whole lot because J.J. Abrams did some unspeakable things to me.
Like you were barely even in it. First of all, like they were just filming in your city, and they said that they needed some extras to like be in the background as the main cast walked by. But then they put your name in the credits and they spelled it wrong.
Yeah,
so you don't even get credit for your work.
It's really unfortunate. I could have had a major acting career acting as an extra in a bunch of J.J. Abrams movies, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
had to
too
go my
bad.
separate ways.
Let's do a contest for the fans at home because we know what the time code is of your spot in the movie. But if somebody can
Uh-huh.
find the frame that E. Rich appears in Cloverfield and you send it to us on Twitter, whoever finds it first will win a fabulous prize.
Absolutely. Yeah, please
E. Rich
post that.
will send you a signed DVD copy of the first Cloverfield movie. He's gonna sign it with the misspelling that they put in the credits.
I wonder if they still have made VHSs in 2008. I wonder if there's a
Oh, there's
VHS
no
of
way.
Cloverfield.
You really think so? I don't think it's
It
possible.
could be.
I
It
thought
could
that shit
be.
stopped in like 2004.
Somebody in like Saudi Arabia had to watch that movie and be like,
And they
we
said,
don't
"Wow, that E-Rich, he's a great extra."
know. Yeah, yeah.
or as the credits spelled it, E-Rick.
Rick.
E-Rick. They fucked it up.
Okay, deepest lore in there, yeah.
Okay, so let's get into this movie because we're 6 minutes in now. So in case you somehow missed it, last night during the Super Bowl, there was they did something that's never been done before. They dropped a 30-second ad for this movie and said, "Oh, by the way, it's dropping on Netflix as soon as the Super Bowl's over. Go watch it right now." And that's important for the review, and I'll get into that very soon.
Yeah,
But Erich,
yeah.
what do you think of this? It's the first time ever the movie gets a trailer and then a release like an hour later. That's never been done before, as far as I know.
Yeah, yeah, it has been. And so the last movie in this kind of weird series, 10 Cloverfield Lane, we only got a trailer for that like a month before it came out. So like they've been slowly playing with how they release information about the movies, and actually how they make the movies in the first place is kind of suspect to this series. And I think we'll talk about it in this movie as
Oh
well as
yeah.
the last one. But basically, when I heard about this, I had heard about rumblings that it was coming to Netflix. I had heard rumblings that the studio wasn't quite sure what to do with the movie, which that could be good, that could also be bad. We've seen the kind of like the big budget tentpole blockbuster movies take up all the space in the theaters, and then smaller, more independent movies don't really have a place. And then the mid tier movies, which I'd call 10 Cloverfield or fuck. What is this one called? Cloverfield Paradox.
Yeah.
Cloverfield Paradox is kind of that one of those mid-tier movies that like it costs a decent amount to make, but not a whole lot. So it's not a huge bet to put it out in theaters, but they kind of have to find a new way to do this kind of shit. So putting it on Netflix seemed like a decent idea. So Netflix had Bright last month.
Great
No,
movie.
December actually.
Great movie.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies of the year actually.
I think
Go
you said
see
it was
our-
your number one movie of the year.
Go see our top 20 movies of the year. Yeah, so I was kind of hopeful for this movie because 10 Cloverfield Lane I thought was fucking incredible.
Well,
And
you
if
know
they
what
could-
happens when guys like us have even a modicum of hope?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
always get it destroyed instantly.
Yeah, see, I fucking loved that movie, and coming into this one, I just thought, okay, well, if they can add that kind of Cloverfield spin onto another decent movie, this could really work. But you know what, Mumkey?
Uh-oh.
You get what you pay for. I did
In
not
which
pay to
case,
see this
yeah, we didn't
movie
pay at all because probably our
in the
parents paid
theater?
for Netflix.
No, I didn't pay to see the movie in the theater. I did not get a Netflix subscription to see this movie.
Uh-oh.
This is a shit movie, Monkey.
Oh my god.
I really disliked this movie.
Let me articulate especially why the release date of the movie I think is affecting people's perception of it. Because if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, I think it's sitting at like a 15%.
Oh wow! I
And
did not even check that.
Yeah, I would attest that if this movie came out the traditional way in theaters, I think it would have a higher score. Let me
Really?
paint you a picture of what the big problem is. Okay, okay. Here's how they did it. You're at a Super Bowl party and you're all getting drunk and eating snacks and you got like 10 people there and you're snacking and having a good time. You're watching the big game that you care so much about. Then you see this epic trailer. Ooh, the new Cloverfield. You saw that big Cloverfield monster, man. Ooh, super cool. Don't you want to know more about that? Well, guess what, motherfucker? It's on Netflix right after the game. And everybody's like, yeah! Woo! Cloverfield, baby! And you already got a big party of people, you know? You're going to watch this epic new Cloverfield movie with all your friends. You're all drunk partying. And then the movie starts.
Yeah.
And it's 5 minutes of two people sitting in the car in the dark, quietly having a conversation. And I'm like,
Well,
oh, you killed it. You fucking
that's
killed the
vaguely-
mood immediately.
That's vaguely how the second movie started, where she's in the car talking to her boyfriend or something, and then her car gets hit in one of the best fucking opening sequences of a movie.
But
This movie does not do that.
Just the epic buzzkill of you got a big drunk party of friends excited to watch this monster movie, and then it's so dull and boring for the first 5 minutes. Like, at least jump straight to the good stuff, because the movie does have some good stuff in it. But what a terrible way to start off your movie that you advertised on the Super Bowl to go watch right now.
The fucking movie should have like set up the entire like why are we watching this movie in the first place, and then filled in some backstory about the characters and everything. But like you start with her in the car talking to her whatever the fuck husband or some shit. It doesn't work. Like because this movie was not meant to be seen on Netflix immediately after the Super Bowl. That's not what they made it for. They made it to see in the theaters. Like, it does not grab your attention in the same way that it should, kind of. And actually, that's a lot of what this movie is like, if it were more schlocky or kind of better new to use really... I don't know, like, it should be more than it is, especially because it's on Netflix and especially because they're trying to grab people's attention. It just doesn't have enough to grab people's attention.
Yeah, I think there's something psychological about seeing a movie in the theater as opposed to watching it at home, especially for the first time. Like, once I've seen a movie the first time in the theater, then I can watch it multiple times at home and still enjoy it. But watching a movie for the first time at home,
it's a make or break experience. Yeah,
it really is, because you have nothing but distractions at home, and if the movie doesn't grab you, then it's not going to have even a chance to hold you. And this movie. This movie, certainly, I think I would have enjoyed it more if I was in the theater, because then, like, just you got the wall-to-wall sound of, all the space explosions and the goddamn stupid strings that they do in every shitty horror movie. Like, at least that has more of an impact when I'm in a big theater, not sitting, in my underwear on the couch.
Well, yeah, watching the beginning of this movie, I was still kind of hopeful because Bear McCreary is doing the music. I love his music from the Battlestar Galactica TV series. Not so much The Walking Dead, but yeah, definitely Battlestar Galactica. And then so the cast is pretty good. You've got Daniel Bruhl here. You've got Gugu Mbatha-Raw, which I don't know what I know her from. Probably an episode of Black Mirror, actually. And you've got Chris O'Dowd from the IT Crowd.
You've got David Oyelowo.
Yeah, David Oyelowo, who played
50 Years a Slave. That's what that movie was called, right? Slave. Yeah. How many years a slave was he?
6 million slaves. Wait. And then there's somebody else. Oh yeah, David Oyelowo.
I just said him.
Is Agent Callus in Star Wars Rebels, and since I'm a fucking Star Wars fan, I love him.
E-Rich, real quick, give us the premise of this movie, because it's very simple to understand.
No, exactly. You've got a bunch of scientists. They're on a space station. Earth is going through energy wars because basically there's a bunch of oil that everybody wants to claim to, and so wars have started. The people on the space station are basically running a particle accelerator.
Okay, time out.
To get energy.
Let me interrupt you right there, E-Rich.
All right.
Already, the most unrealistic part of the movie has jumped in, and this is a movie about dimensional shifts and giant monsters destroying the world.
Yeah.
Rich, let me paint you another picture. This one of statistics. So here's how this movie works. They got 6 scientists up in space. They got the best scientists from each country. You got the best scientists from Germany's up there, the best scientists from the UK, the best scientists from America. E-Rich, do you know the black female population of the UK?
Of the UK? Is it like 4%?
It's like 1.5%.
Wow.
So you're telling me that the best scientist in the UK is a black woman? That is a statistical anomaly. That's fucking horseshit. I don't believe that for 1 second. Nothing against black women being scientists, but really, just percentage-wise, I'm guessing there's less than 1% of the scientists in the UK are black women. Are you fucking horseshit telling me? Should have been a white man. I want more white men in movies. Where's my representation? Who am I supposed to relate to?
The German or the Russian.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. Carry on with the premise of the film.
But the monkey. This is the future. In the future, UK will be entirely brown people.
No. What a that's a worse fate than having the world destroyed by monsters.
Oh man, yeah, the future was already fucked up before they even got here. All right, so they're using a particle accelerator to try to find a alternate form of energy up in space. And when they turn on their machine, it doesn't work. And then they try it again, and it does work, except that they go into a parallel dimension. And
Yeah.
then weird shit starts happening, and then they go back to the other dimension. And then there's a Cloverfield monster, and that's the end of the movie.
Now I'll say I think that this movie gets better as it goes along. I like the whole middle section where really weird, bizarre, terrible shit was happening to the crew of the space station, and there's not really any explanation for it because like yeah, they're like in a new dimension, but then the two versions of themselves are trying to occupy the same mass. So then like the guy gets his arm ripped off and it just like disappears, and then the arm comes back and starts attacking them. Some guy
That was the only part I liked.
yeah, some guy turns into like worms and shit.
Bullshit.
There's some like girl from the other dimension who is out to kill all of them, and
That part makes no fucking sense to me. So you've got this entirely new person on your ship, and they basically slowly start to like give her more license on the ship to do more things and stuff like that. And then by the end of it, she's running around with a gun, and it's just like, how did they ever like trust her around any kind of gun or weapon, or like let her out of anything to do anything on this fucking ship? It makes no sense. This is the kind of bullshit horror movie logic that starts to slowly creep into any like science fiction fantasy thing, where people basically who should be smarter start to not do smart things.
well, that's why I think that the biggest villain of the movie is affirmative action, because that black woman should not have been the scientist they chose. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so they set up the black woman and that she had kids at one time,
Yeah.
but we saw that she didn't have kids when she was in the car with her husband. They eventually revealed that in an odd kind of Manchester by the Sea type way,
Yeah.
she'd accidentally burned down the house with like a power cell or some shit. What the fuck? That is just so. It was just out of nowhere. It felt like.
Yeah, this movie had me critically thinking about how characters work in fiction, and how do writers and artists make us care about characters.
Yeah.
And like you think of something like Breaking Bad, where in 40 minutes I know almost everything I need to know about Walter White, and I understand
And
him.
Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah, and I like those characters like instantly.
Yeah.
This movie, they just slam 6 astronauts into your face almost all at the same time. You don't really have time to get to know them, and like I feel like I couldn't really tell you much about any of them by the end of the movie. And like, how do writers make it so I can relate to some characters so easily, and these ones are all bland and kind of.
It's so weird because they don't really attempt to characterize most of the characters in this movie, which drives me fucking insane because this is an hour and 46 minute long movie, and they barely do the minimum of establishing who's who and why they're in their role or what their characters are. Basically, the only thing I can really catch is that Chris O'Dowd is the funny one. The Chinese woman and the German man love each other.
Okay,
are in a relationship.
Time the fuck out.
Yeah,
Here's the biggest fumble in the movie. Every character speaks English except for the Chinese woman only speaks Chinese. But she understands what the other people are saying because they talk to her in English and she replies in Chinese. What in the fuck?
And then people reply to her in Chinese and then
but also in English. She fucking speaks English. Just fucking speak English, you stupid chink bitch. Well, E-Rich, too far.
Yeah.
Too far. You've been drinking too much tonight.
Yeah. I had one beer too many, and then my xenophobia comes out, and I start to slander the Chinese.
Don't use the C word on my podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're
right.
Why
the fuck was she speaking Chinese?
I don't know, because the actress can actually speak English, right?
Who fucking cares if the actress can? You cast somebody who can speak English. Why does the character speak Chinese to everybody else speaking English?
Maybe they didn't think we would understand she was Chinese if she didn't speak Chinese.
I mean, all I'm saying is I was glad when she died, when she froze to death.
All right, this is when I'm gonna fucking introduce my new character, which is Scientist E-Rich. Because this movie is such bullshit in almost every fucking way scientifically. MUMKEY, do you know what happens to water in space?
It floats.
No, it can barely float.
What do you mean no? What, does it
In
fall
this
forever?
movie, in this movie, they expose a bunch of water to space, and it instantly freezes, and like basically like puts her in place there, instantly killing her, and then kind of like juts out and like attacks the people for like a second because it's expanding. I don't fucking know. When water is in space, it boils instantly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
I thought it was
pressure,
cold in space.
pressure and temperature are two different factors that determine how things like water actually cooperate. So at the top of a mountain, water also starts to boil.
What?
Basically, yeah. I mean, as pressure lessens and lessens and lessens, it affects how temperature plays with things like water. So
Huh.
the water boiled instantly when it opened to space.
That
If
would
you
have
go
been a
on
cooler death
long,
too. Like if they
yeah, no,
if they
it
kept it
definitely would.
scientifically accurate, like that woman boiling to death, just floating there, that would have been cool as shit.
And fucking scientist E-Rich was able to figure this out in like 10 seconds of Googling, and whoever wrote this fucking screenplay couldn't bother to do it. It's such bullshit. All right, so there's that. There's the bullshit thing where they are fucking monkey barring between two parts of the station in fucking outer space.
Yeah, I was on
and
Twitter
then they
at that
drop
part.
down. They drop down
I
in space.
I kind of gave up at that point.
Yeah, I definitely given up, but I was just like, what the fuck am I seeing? What? Why are they doing this? In space, you should be able to like jump off of the other end and then like float into the like they don't have to fucking monkey bar. They can just float over there. It doesn't this goddamn movie.
But hey, can we both agree that the best part of the movie is the last 60 seconds? Did you love it or hate it?
I kind of hated it, but when I read up on it, I understand more what the fuck happened.
Man, I don't even care what the fuck happened. Just the emotion of the final moments of the film was so great for me, where the two surviving scientists are in an escape pod going back to Earth, but the Earth has been like ravaged by the Cloverfield monsters and everything's like being destroyed. And the woman's husband is on the phone with NASA or whatever stupid space, government. Yeah. And he's like, no, tell them to go back. Why didn't you tell them that the Cloverfield monsters are down here? Tell them to go back. And then fucking smash cut to credits. And I'm like, oh my God. Like giant monster comes up and like, does it eat their space escape pod or something?
No,
it just like pops up.
So.
And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah. That sequence is kind of a huge, like, you wanted to see the Cloverfield monster? Well, here he is.
Yeah, that's what the movie. That's the thing about these Cloverfield movies is that, and we were gonna come to this eventually, but the first one obviously is like the monster movie. But then for these next two, and I love 10 and Cloverfield Lane. It's the best one in the series in my opinion. Yeah, but they take other movie scripts and they're like, you know what? This movie script's pretty good. Let's add it to the Cloverfield universe because 10 Cloverfield Lane was originally called like the Den or the Cavern or some shit. The bunker, I think. And they're like, let's tack on a Cloverfield monster for the last 10 minutes. This movie, pretty much the same exact thing, only way worse, where they try to tie it into Cloverfield.
So when I read up on it, I better understand what the fuck is happening. You know that guy who was like bitching and complaining about if you mess with the particle accelerator thing, you'll let all kinds of monsters into the universe. So all three of these movies take place in different universes because of the actions. Because of the actions in this movie, monsters and aliens and shit are able to spread all throughout different timelines. So in the first movie, the Cloverfield monster comes out. I think there's some kind of meteor shower or something that like puts it on the Earth or something. And that's because of the effects of this space station or whatever ripping a hole through time or whatever. And then the alien invasion in the second movie is because of that. And then they're also making another movie. It might actually already be made. There's another movie that's going to take place during World War II called Overlord, and it might be Cloverfield Overlord, whatever the fuck. It might come out at the end of this year. I don't fucking know.
Oh, wow.
That they're going to make. So this is kind of the explanation for why all of these things can happen.
So it's a lot like, say, I don't know, because like, so these movies don't have any plot consistency. They just sort of take place in the same idea.
Basically, yeah. There are some things that underpin it, and I think we had some weird connections between the first movie and the second movie that
Yeah.
is entirely done through the marketing and shit. But like,
It's like an anthology film series about different people in different situations surviving a
yes,
monster apocalypse.
yes, and I do like that idea. I just think this movie completely butchers what could have been a cool idea to like really freak the fuck out with weird shit going on in a space station. We dealing with molecular physics and I don't know. There's all kinds of cool shit they could have done, and it just seemed very tame. The best part to me was the arm, just kind of like acting individually and shit.
Yeah, the movie had some fun little scenarios, and I enjoyed just everything of the six astronauts being like tortured and terrible things happening to them, like supernatural crazy shit. I
It's
thought that
all
was
been done
fun.
before, though. I've seen this shit.
But Rich, I
before.
haven't seen every movie, so
Uh-huh.
for me, this hasn't been done before. It was no Jason X. I think Jason X is a better space
Yeah,
horror
well,
film.
just
But
watch Sunshine. Sunshine is so much better than this movie.
well,
God
I
damn
mean,
it.
most movies are better than this movie. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying some parts were enjoyable, and the ending was fucking woo.
Yeah,
That's
this
my
movie has to
review
be
of the
really
ending.
split because this movie kind of serves as the underpinning for the whole franchise or for the whole series in a way, and it does have some decent moments, but like everything they do is just subpar. And
Yeah.
then you get the Cloverfield pop at the end, and you're like, "Oh yeah, Cloverfield, we love you,
Oh
Cloverfield."
man, this movie could have been good, judging by the
hmm
last frame of the film.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, hey, I think that's about all I have to say about this movie. I guess spoiler alert here at the end of the review. We just
yeah,
spoiled the
yeah.
entire film for you, but who
I always
cares?
love doing a late spoiler review.
Yeah.
Fucking
Uh,
okay. So this movie should not be seen by anyone.
oh wow.
The fact that it was on Netflix helps it out a great deal because I think people are way more likely, even if there's negative online buzz, to just give it a try because
Yeah, because
it's
like you either have Netflix or you don't, so it's not going to
yeah.
cost you anything.
And I actually think it's weird. It's a weird decision for Netflix because I'm not entirely sure who's going to be persuaded to buy Netflix just for Cloverfield Paradox.
Well, I mean, just by raw numbers alone, I'm sure last night or whenever the Super Bowl was last night, I
Uh-huh.
guess. I'm sure they got a whole bunch of new subscriptions just because of the buzz of that trailer. But then I'm sure a lot of them are like, okay, I saw the movie. Let's unsubscribe.
This movie is more fascinating to me as an exercise in marketing, just because they probably spent like nothing on the marketing. All they needed was a Super Bowl trailer
Well,
that
what's
was
that like?
mostly
$5 million for Super Bowl
yeah,
trailer?
yeah. But that for marketing, that's not a lot at all.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with this format of releasing a movie super quick, not really letting anybody know about it, and building up hype. I think it could work really well with a good movie. They should try that.
Yeah. I think it says a lot that in this trilogy of monster movies, the best monster so far has been John Goodman in a bunker.
Shaved John Goodman. Yeah, scariest thing fucking ever.
Terrifying. All right, that's all I had to say about the Cloverfield Mega Blocks. What about you?
Yeah, the Cloverfield Paradox wasn't really good. I would not recommend anybody see it. I would recommend reading about it online, especially if you like or have fondness for the series. A lot of like, I wouldn't even say any of the performances are particularly good. They're just all right. It's just meh. Like this entire movie just seems to have been created by the studio. They weren't entirely sure how they're going to sell it to anyone or get audiences to want to see it, so they decided to jump it on
Yeah,
Netflix.
they pawned it off
And
on Netflix.
yeah, that's kind of the story here. It's more fascinating as a weird one-off experiment than it is an actual movie. So I don't know if you're super interested in watching this. I wouldn't recommend it, but I don't think I'm going to stop you from
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah.
Should we tease what we're doing for the rest of the month on this show, E-Rich?
Yeah. Let's do that.
So
I'm excited
next week, or I guess maybe this weekend, we're planning on watching, a kinky little
Oh,
movie
yeah.
I like to call 50 Shades Freed.
Ooh.
Look forward to that. And then the following week, A Kingdom Will Rise, one might say.
The whips take a different context in the next week.
To celebrate Black History Month, Erich
Yeah.
and I are going to view and review the film Black Panther not once,
Not
not
twice.
twice, but 3 times in the span of February. We're not
Hold
joking.
Hold up.
Yeah.
You saying we some kind of Black Panther reviewing squad?
I don't know. See, the funny thing is, this movie is probably going to be good, and you would typically want to do this sort of format with a terrible movie. But just because of the meme of it being Black History Month, and this is the blackest film ever created, we're going to see the movie the opening weekend, and then we're going to see it and review it on this channel again, and then one last time before the end of February. So we're going to have 3 separate reviews, Is It Kino reviews, of the same film within 2 weeks.
I can't fit a wait.
I don't even know what we're going to say the second and third time. We'll probably just discuss like how loud the audience was and the things that they yelled at the screen.
How much clapping there was, yeah.
So hey, that's all I got. For Is It Kino, I have been MUMKEY Jones.
And I am E-Rich.
We'll see you for the rest of Black History Month.
Stay black, everyone.